views and opinions expressed on the Big Llama Show are those of the host and guest. They do not reflect that of our sponsors, advertisers, or employers. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
Shit, it's in the, she ruckus. Dead beat, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go,
Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that? I'm getting paper, seats in the cloud, hands up in the air. Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. It's a special episode, but not for the reasons you might think. Not because we have special content, but we have a special guest co-host. And before I bring him on, I want to give a heartfelt thank you to AD, Blackout AD, who's always on the show. He is a regular staple, and he is still on the marquee. So AD, we're just filling in because you're having a good time and you're partying. But I got to bring in my co-host for the night, Hercules Outlaw. Hercules Outlaw, welcome to the show, sir.
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome to the pit, as you say, right?
Yes, welcome to the pits. Welcome to the Llama Nation.
There you go. So tonight AD is enjoying himself at Big Homie's baby shower, and so
Yes.
He's very leery about leaving the show in anybody's hands, but he was okay with you. So
Well, that means a lot. It means a lot. It's very heartfelt. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, really. So.
Right. You've hosted before, right? When I wasn't here.
Yeah, no, I can officially say I've been the stand-in for both you and AD.
You're like the substitute. You're our go-to substitute teacher for the Big Llama Show.
I'm the cool teacher that everybody likes.
Now, jeez, you bring in the cart with the movies. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's like this.
So tonight we're going to take advantage of our backgrounds being similar in our military background.
Yes.
So we're going to talk military movies, and we're going to talk. That's going to be our movie segment, and then we're going to get into pop culture, and we're going to talk about the things that are happening this week. But as we always do, let's get to the chat. Let's see what's going on with the chat. What the flock is going on with the chat.
Yeah, what's flocking happening?
We got Gabe hitting us way early. This was at 4:24. He said, "Damn you, Justin, this is not fair." I don't know what that means because there's no other comments.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything from Justin. I figured Gabe won the race this time, but I don't know.
I think he did. I mean, he came in right after that and hit us with the blackout, which was great.
Yeah.
You were just before the show started, right? Hitting us up with the welcome to the pit.
Welcome to the pits.
If you're here from Hercules Outlaw's channel, or you're here because you come to see Hercules Outlaw, thank you so much for joining me on the Big Llama Show. Got to give credit because you guys bring a lot of viewers to my show, so I appreciate that. Jimmy J Birdie, what the flock's up?
What's flocking happening, Jimmy?
Jimmy is the character that I love playing with on Call of Duty, man. Like if he's on, I'm like, I got to play with this guy.
Yeah, no, I love playing with Jimmy.
He's so entertaining. It's just, just so much fun.
Oh yeah, no, and he's just a well of knowledge too. I mean, the things that this man can tell you just off of the top of his head is just insane, and you'd never expect it too. It's amazing. Well,
we played the other night, and when I tell you, I've never laughed harder in my life. Just because his laughter, like he was laughing at something I said, and he was like cracking up, and I started cracking up. It's not like a bunch of schoolgirls playing Call of Duty. But one thing I want to say, somebody called me out on my microphone because they're like, "Oh, look at you! You sound like you're on your iPhone 4," and I didn't realize that it did sound pretty terrible. Like I watched a replay or clip that AD posted.
Yeah,
I sound like dog shit on here. Like I sound like I'm in a tunnel with my mouth covered. And I was like, at first I was, when it was happening at the moment, they were making fun of me. I was like, ah, ha, ha, yeah, right. And I listened to the playback. I'm like, those dudes were right, man. They suck.
Oh man, if there's one thing that I've had an issue with since the beginning of streaming has been my audio. Honestly, because
Yeah.
I just started getting things right with my audio between the gameplay volume and my volume. I'm either too loud, too low. I got music playing too loud and can't hear me, or vice versa. Like it's just all over the place. But like slowly but surely, we get the hang of things like that.
Yeah, I on this app right here on StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. You're not
Yeah,
starting the
big
check
shout
yet.
outs.
But I pay for your service. But anyway, on StreamYard, it has an auto mic thing, like feature. So it says, automatically regulate the volume. So I let it do that. But sometimes my microphone is the gain is way too high.
Yeah.
So I sound like I'm screaming when I'm not. And I don't know. We'll
So
see
is that
tonight.
is that the same mic that you use when you're playing, or you
No,
use like a
no, no,
headset?
no. I use this little ear thing that I have.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
And
why then. Yeah, if you're using those buds, that's why.
I thought for sure it was okay, but I
Hey,
will
it's
switch.
good enough though. I heard you. I can decipher what you're telling me. So I mean, it works. If it works, it works.
I listen, man. I was gargling something. I don't know, man. That was terrible. It was terrible. But I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up for sure. Miss Dysfunction's in the house. She said, "Let's get it."
Yeah, big shout out to Miss Dysfunction. She'll drop into the stream every now and then and just drop a bunch of subs and then leave.
I saw she rated one of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy
Always shows love. So big shout outs to Miss Dysfunction.
for sure. Miss Dysfunction. I wish you could raid the YouTube channel and just get a lot of followers and subscribers there.
Yes.
But no, appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Gabe's on here again. Let's go. This is what's going to start the beef here, Jimmy. Hashtag the replacement.
Oh man, he's gonna have fun. He's gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Oh my God. What again? So because AD is he puts his thoughts out there, right? I think one night we were on the Discord and he said it. He goes, the one fear I have, I think it was after we did our show, when we had you on. It's like the one fear I have is you're going to replace me with Hercules. You're just going to up and replace me. And I was like, no way, brother. No way, man. Well, you're my man. We started this together. No way. And the instant that he said he wasn't going to be able to do it, I called you.
Oh man,
Oh
love to
my
see it.
God.
I love to see it.
I mean, it was fun. It was all love. And then, obviously he's got his master story of him leaving Blackout at some point. So,
Oh my God, yeah, no, he's had this Civil War written script for like 3 years now. Like he's already got it down pat, and I'm honestly starting to believe that like it's true. he talks about it every now and then. He'll bring it up and be like, "I've already got this on lock. You guys don't even know yet."
But listen. Here's the funny part. Here's what I think what's going to happen, right? Is if it does happen, like for reals, we're not going to know if it's a storyline or if
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
him for real.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping like he drops it, man, because I'm like, man, I don't want that to happen.
Blackout's
But it
gonna
would-
blow up, and he's gonna leave us for FaZe Clan or something.
well, listen. You go where the money is, man. You go with the money. And there's also money on this show, which I'm going to try to make sure people lose their money.
Oh, absolutely.
there's that
It
prop.
wouldn't be true if it didn't happen that way.
Right. No, but there's a prop bet, right? That Jimmy's talking about right here. Herc is now the sexiest man on YouTube. I'm not biting. Jimmy. Jay Birdie, I know what you guys are betting. It ain't gonna happen. What's the over under? Come on, man.
Over under. Let's get it. Let's see.
All right, so John Gillen, our OG from the beginning. Yo, what's up? Hashtag road to 1,000.
Shout out John Gillen.
And we got Chris, which is John's dad. So sounds good to me. So he's actually works in TV. He says the sounds good. So that's good. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
I see people are taking care of me out here. So
Love to see.
now
it.
I haven't seen AD. He said he was going to pop in. So maybe
Oh, yeah,
he's
I'm
still
waiting.
having. What's
I'm
that?
waiting.
I know.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for the for that for people to throw ADs in the chat and him just to show up. Poof. Oh, all right. So we had hinted on it a little bit at the beginning, right? Sharing our background. So I will share my experience, my current status. I'm an Army National Guard veteran. I served many moons ago, 20 plus years ago, probably even more than that. I actually signed up straight out of high school. So I think I signed up my junior year of high school, and then I graduated my senior year and went straight to basic training, and was in the National Guard for I think 8 years or something like that.
Nice.
Never saw combat, which some people are like, oh, that's good and that's bad. Like, listen, I'm thankful that I am where I am and I'm safe, right, and that I didn't lose any
Absolutely.
limbs. And I do realize the sacrifices that the other brothers and sisters have made, so I acknowledge that. But I will tell you, I don't know. I don't know that I could handle combat. I don't know. I mean, when I was young, maybe, right? Maybe in a young, thinner llama could handle that shit. But if you put me in there now, man, that's it. I'm done. I'm toast. But no, that's my. I've always always loved the military. Always loved the time that I had in my service. And love connecting with people. So war movies and military type movies are in my wheelhouse. So that's why I brought it in. So Hercules, tell me a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, so I actually still serve in the National Guard now. I've been in for a total about 8+ years now. So I'm just catching up to your numbers there. So, but yeah, no, I joined active duty. A part of me wishes I did join straight out of high school, but I am glad that I joined when I did. I joined at 20, and I joined active duty as a ammunition specialist. And that was my job for 4 years. I got blessed enough to go to airborne school and get stationed with 3rd Special Forces Group out in North Carolina. So I was with them all 4 years. Got to deploy once to Afghanistan, and then transitioned into the National Guard back in 2018, and I've been there since. Now I work full time for the National Guard with Counter Drug Task Force. So it's still going.
I mean, listen, if there's a career there and there's still serving and being able to do things you want to do, that's amazing, right? That's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's the way I see it. It's an easy career. You can make the most out of it, or you can serve your time, serve your country, and then move on. But I mean, for me, it was something I'm good at, and I was able to find a job that it's pretty much a unicorn. Like I transitioned into the Guard as a public affairs representative, essentially. So like my job is mass communications now. I work with photography, videography. I edit videos and photos. I can do graphic design. And, they send me to a location. I can do an interview and then walk away, and my job is done for the day. And I got to say I worked for my state, so it's truly a blessing. You just got to find that right thing for you. You can find anything in the military, I think.
Yeah, no, listen, I see. And here's the thing. The one thing I didn't do, appropriately, which is like research what my MOS should be, what my job should be. I signed the dotted line to be an 11 Bravo infantry. So, my specialty is to kill things, and so and fire big weapons.
Yes.
So
that's the best job anywhere. Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
Best job in the world. I mean, I got to shoot the Rambo guns. I mean, I got to carry that thing. So I tell my kids that all the time. I think they think I'm lying, but I'm telling you, man, I was an M60 gunner. And I carried all the gear and everything, and that gun is heavy. That's why I get so mad when I see Sylvester Stallone come out of the water with two of those things. I'm like, there's no way he did that. And
there's no way.
There's no way. All right, let's before we continue, and people are putting on here, thank us for our service, which
thank you for your support.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy, thank you so much for that. And that's a weird thing too, man. It's like not that I don't like it. But I feel weird, like, stand up at the baseball game, stand up at the football game. I don't mind doing it, but I feel really awkward. But I appreciate that people support it, so.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We got some chat buzz here, so let's see.
Yeah.
Jimmy wants to continue to stoke the fire.
He's poking the bear. He's poking the bear.
He's poking him. Jane, right? Mrs. Outlaw, right? With the llamas in the chat. And our friend and co-host made an appearance.
Yes, my flocking brothers. That's my one.
That's his one. He gets to use it one time, and there it is.
You get your one. That's it.
Love
you, AD. Love you.
That's it. And Big Homie, who's at the baby shower as well. My guys.
Guys, congrats, Big Homie.
Yeah, exactly, big homie. He's on, a little one's on the way. A little homie's on the way.
Little homie, little Herc and little homie gonna be the next blackout ambassadors. I know it.
There you go. We got to hand this off to our next generation, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So you when you were talking about
Airborne. Yeah.
airborne. I don't think I had the chance to go airborne, but I wanted to do it because those guys were like the top notch. You saw those guys running around with their berets.
I got so lucky with how I got that. I was at AIT in Fort Lee, Virginia, and for ammunition specialist, it was 8 weeks. So after 4 weeks of training, you get your orders for your first duty station.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want my first duty station to be overseas. So they're calling off the names and they go, Martinez. I was like, here, Sergeant. He goes, Korea. I was like, shit. he's like, what, you don't want to go overseas? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, see me in my office. Now, this is 4 weeks, right, into training. And my platoon sergeant at the time, he was a prior airborne instructor. So he was all about airborne. He would always preach the good word of being a super duper paratrooper. And that's how he would call it. He's like, hey, are you ready to be a super duper paratrooper? And then every day, he made me the acting like student platoon guide or whatever. So every morning in formation, we'd have to take attendance and things like that. And he'd come up and he'd be like, is today the day you sign up to be a super duper paratrooper? I'm like, not today, Sergeant. He's like, all right, I'm gonna keep asking. And then sure enough, I got my orders to Korea and I was like, shit. He was like, you know what you got to do? I just want to hear you say it. I was like, I want to be a super duper paratrooper. And then sure enough, and then that's how I ended up at 3rd Group out in North Carolina.
Wow.
So it's truly a blessing. I got hit with that blessing real like early in my career, and I was able to make the best of it. So I was grateful.
No, listen, I wanted to wear the black beret. I wanted to do the running. I wanted to jump out of a perfectly good functioning plane, which was a little stupid at the time. But when you're in there, man, you're like fully in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so I wish that's the one thing I do regret, that I didn't do that or I didn't ask for that. And but again, I admire everyone who does that today, man. Like with today's brain, like a young llama brain would have done it, right? Old llama brain is like, what are you, freaking crazy? Like, well, you're old ass can jump out of a plane.
Like, whoa. Let's stick with the YouTube career for now, all right? Let's take it easy.
Let's see. We got James, except when you're gone for forever.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks. Yeah, the travel, the TDY movements and things like that for work. It's the only thing that gets in the way, really.
Yeah.
If I could work from home constantly, I would happily do so.
Right. And that's the tough part about it being in military life, is you are away from family for long periods of time. If you get deployed or if you have, an assignment, training, I mean, no matter what, it takes its toll. So, like I said, I commend anybody who does it for a long career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. AD's in the chat. He's throwing his own ADs.
the father of the AD himself.
Let's see. This is such a dynamic for you guys. We need a Llama and Herc show. See, look at this. They're starting it already, man.
He's already on the move.
He's already quit. He's already quit the show. Let's see. Wish I was there. I'm drunk sitting in front of the baby shower listening. I'm a fan of the Big Llama Show every Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Not Pacific.
So, we should get AD on. Drunk AD should be fun.
Laughing my ass off.
Super duper.
Yep.
Let's see here. You are indeed super duper. That's going to be your new call sign there. Super duper.
Yeah, super duper. I have to change my gamer tag and everything.
Didn't even recognize you when you got back after those 6 months. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah. No, our oldest didn't even recognize me. We did a whole surprise for them when I got back. I was gone for 6 months training in Maryland for my new job as a mass communicator. And I got back and we met them. We met up at a Christmas tree shop because it was around Christmas time that I was making it back. So I was like, bring the kids to the Christmas tree shop and we'll go and pick out a tree together. And that'll be like my welcome home to them. And I walk up, I'm all in uniform. And then his name's Gavin. So Gavin's like walking and I was like, hey, where are you going? And then he looks at me. He was like, who the hell is that? And I was like, he didn't even recognize me at first.
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh, man.
I mean, I left weighing 265 I mean, that was the slimmest I've ever been in my life, 265. I mean, I think I was born 250. But I left 265. I came back. I think I weighed like 180. I mean, I dropped huge weight. I looked like I don't know. My wife says she can see my ribs, and I'm like, I thought that's sexy. I thought that's like what you guys want, but she's like, nah, that's not.
Now you need
and
a sandwich.
yeah, no, I need. Well, I was in my basic training life, I was on the fat boy diet, as they say. And
They had you on the fat boy diet.
they did, and
Damn, that's tough.
even to my graduation, they would not let me go from the fat boy diet, even though I had passed all my
That's
my
messed up.
my PT,
wrong.
everything. I was at standard, but it's crazy. Let's see here. AD's about I'm a marketing
I'm a
genius.
marketing genius. This guy Marcus.
He's gonna leave the show, man. He's gonna leave the show. I'm gonna need a commitment. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jane says it's cutest video ever.
Cutest video,
So,
yeah, it really is.
so that's a 5 tissue box rating.
Oh, that's
there.
definitely a 5 tissue box rating.
I
She
can't. Go
spent
ahead.
like 3 days editing that video together for TikTok, and like fully committed to it. I was like very impressed with it too. It was like really good. She had my video, I sent it to her, and she mixed it up with her video, and it was like a back and forth thing. It was beautiful. It was really great. But she's dedicated to that 3-day video. It was awesome.
No, listen, I can't. I can't. I probably would be crying watching the video. I hate seeing those videos of the guys come home and they not hate, but like
Oh my
it
God,
makes
no.
me
No,
cry so
it is
hard.
a tough thing to watch. I used to love watching those until I became that person, and I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? Just like keep watching them, it was terrible. They're terrible feelings. Nobody wants to watch that anymore.
No, nobody, and it hits different for us, right?
It definitely does.
we know that life and we know what people are going through. So it's like when you watch it, you go, oh God, like again, instantly choked up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big homie is going to lighten the mood here. Says, this talking to AD says, leave or get replaced.
No, what it was is that he left and then got replaced. That's how that works.
Oh, okay. And then AD is talking about
For the grand re-entrance. Yeah, there it is. The grand return.
he's already setting up the return. Oh my God. All right. Well, we've got some background on us, and what I want to do is talk about what I have that I just dropped just before the show started, so everyone knows, and we're going to get right into our movie segment. But if you're interested tonight and you want to watch the first time watching of the movie Speed, which I have never seen,
Great movie.
you might like this one. This is a fun one. Guaranteed will give you the feels. I should say we'll give you the feels.
So many feels. Well, look at that young Keanu. That's Keanu, right? Look at him.
Yeah, listen.
that
He
face.
was. I had said that in the reaction was like, if you watch this movie, and you like close your eyes and think of Paul Walker, they're the same guy.
I can see that.
Same
I can
mannerisms.
definitely see that. Yeah.
Same speech pattern. I mean, I had said, I said you could interchange, like you could have put young
Yeah.
Keanu in
Fast and Furious.
right, and you could actually bring him in now. But no. I mean,
Probably.
he's-
Yeah. Dye his hair a little bit. He'll be all right.
maybe.
They'll do a crossover, Matrix and Fast and Furious.
AD, you have a reaction from the big llama, and he's throwing ADs in the chat. The hype emojis. Oh man, he's everywhere.
All
He's
those
hitting
ADs.
us up, man. AD,
Love to
thank
see
you,
it.
man.
Love it.
You're killing it. You're killing it.
Love you, brother. Miss you, man.
Yeah, man. We're gonna miss you when the show moves on without you. Never.
You got to keep the
never.
narrative going. You got to keep the narrative going. It's good writing.
Never, AD, never. We actually miss you, man. We want you on the show. Again, if you guys want to watch it, it just dropped tonight. The YouTube on my YouTube channel. First time watching Speed movie reaction. Get on there, watch it, give it a like, and hit me up with some comments. I am not saying one of the few, but I know that I react or respond to almost every YouTube comment I receive. And if you're a first time watcher, you watch almost the most film coverage of any reactor. I can guarantee you that for sure. I figured out the formula. I figured out the code.
Yes.
The cheat code. All right,
There's always
so
a
let's,
cheat code.
there's always a cheat code. All right, so let's get into tonight's movie segment. We're going to talk about military movies. Here we go. All right, hit you with
Love
that
that
old
intro.
school.
Love that
Man,
intro.
there's something about that old HBO intro, man.
It
I mean,
hits different. It does.
does.
It hits absolutely different. It gets you ready. It's
Yeah.
gets you so ready. It's an amp up music, you know. Welcome to the pit. Let's go. HBO style.
But you know what happens on HBO, man? It's like it used to be. I mean, back in the day, with no streaming, no DVDs, no nothing. That was like, okay, what's playing Saturday night? That's the big movie.
Yeah.
We got to sit down and watch, and and then what's playing late night? Skinamax. And so, anyway.
That's when all the lights are off, right? All the lights are off. You got to make sure everybody's sleeping. Walk out to the living room.
Listen, man, I mean, it's the weirdest thing that, all this stuff was readily available to me. And I didn't understand what I was watching, what I was doing, but I knew enough that, okay, this is a late night thing. It's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Let's turn on this TV. Let's get it going.
I'll tell you, man, old school cable like television was just a lawless land. You can get away with anything.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Until the bill came. And then they give you a rundown of what you paid for that month. And be like, hey, what's this?
Yeah,
what's this, Llama?
What was this? And before we start our movie segment, pineapple coconut tonight, baby.
Pineapple coconuts. I was drinking some zero sugar ginger ale earlier, Yeah. Now I got some water.
There you go. High
Hydrate.
quality H2O.
Yes.
But somebody hit me up on the comments talking about the waters that I drink and stuff. So like that's just my thing. That I enjoy it. And the popsicle made a return, I think, on Rambo 3. So everyone's looking for the popsicle. Rambo 3.
Yes, I was so excited for that popsicle. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's like a show staple right there. The popsicle.
Oh man.
And the popsicle makes an appearance on Speed 3, but like you have to like be looking for it. It's like just blink and you'll miss it.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get a clip of every time the popsicle makes an appearance, and then I'm just gonna make a compilation video. I'm just gonna upload it without your knowledge and wait for you to find it.
Let's see. Jane says we watched Avengers. That counts,
Yeah,
right?
that counts as a military movie, I think, right?
Yeah. And we'll look at some stuff. Let's see. Just kidding. We did Real Recon and watched American Sniper. That I have not seen. I'm going to save that for the channel.
Yes.
I heard that's great.
Great movie. Very great movie.
So, looking at this right here, and again, we got some images that we sort of grabbed. I mean, there are some goats. There are some goats movies that any military guy has seen or at least heard of. But, starting with that first one there that you see is The Deer Hunter, which, I watched it and I like it, but those 70s movies are so slow, like slow burn, slow.
Oh man, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh my God. I mean, I enjoyed it though. I really did, but the storytelling is way different than today. And that's the part that sucks is like nowadays you can't get a fully fleshed out movie like that where you delve into a character and their mind and you just kind of get into the action and then there's exposition where they tell
there's no more slow progression with character development. Now it's like kind of in your face and you got to like catch it in the moment, and then in certain movies they do really good like with character development and stuff, but you see a lot of that in like TV shows rather than movies these days.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I think where it's going is that you have to watch these shows, these series, and they're very fulfilling, but there's not a lot of movies that have that development, especially so military movies for me obviously have I view it from a different lens, right? Because we've been in and we know sort of the real and the not real, the lens is way different. And so some of the stuff is downright sad, like the depiction of some of the, and sometimes people question like, why would you make a movie like Jarhead or one of those types of movies where it really talks, looks at the psyche breaking down and and I get it, man. I had guys who were in basic training who lost their shit, and and it's like, That shit
Yeah,
happens.
it happens. It definitely happens. And like, it's funny too, because like a lot of people, I've heard soldiers say like, oh, like you weren't actually in a combat zone, so how could you actually have experienced anything like that drastic, But it's like we're training for real life scenario, right? So like if you encounter somebody and it's a little too real for them, it shouldn't be downplayed at all, Like that's something to take seriously, right? Like you went through basic, you understand like that you do this. It's literally you have to low crawl under barbed wire under live fire at
Oh
some
yeah.
point during
Oh.
basic training. And like I've seen people in that situation. We did it 3 times at my basic just to get it right. and we had time to kill. So we just kept doing it. And like different scenarios, right, would like pop up. And I saw a couple guys lose their minds and like stand up in the middle of a live fire exercise and be like, oh, get down. Like, what are you doing?
Right,
Like,
right.
it's real. Like it's really intense situations, and you can't just expect them to just be like, oh, it's training.
No, no. Listen, I had. Yeah, you're right. That same exercise where they have the tracer rounds going over your head. And
Yeah.
you got to stay low crawl. That's insane, and it's scary. But it prepares you for whatever the inevitable, right? That's going to happen to you at some point if you get activated, right? But you're right. I had the same thing. I had 2 guys either get up and run the opposite direction, or just stand up and had to shut down the whole exercise. And it's like, it's scary. It's scary as hell. I was 18 years old, going, getting bullets over my head, and
Oh yeah, no, that's one thing you don't expect, right? Because you join the military knowing that at some point there's probably going to be a situation where you find yourself in that, but then it actually happens and you don't know what to do. You're just like, oh, this is happening. Like this is real life now. Like,
yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, the one good thing, and this is the weird part, right? Like I watched Full Metal Jacket like on repeat before I went,
Yeah.
expecting, right, the drill sergeant of Full Metal Jacket to show up and beat the shit out of me and all this stuff. But I think when I got in '97, they had just had some issues with drill sergeants putting their hands on recruits.
Yeah.
And they had like this very serious policy, and we still had some issues, but like it was toned down from some of the other recruits. So, I mean, I think I was fortunate at that point. But the one thing I did learn is that in watching this movie over and over again, is that it's done purposely. Like I tell people all the time, like they're like, "Oh, how'd you do basic training? How'd you survive?" I said, "Listen, the secret is that task they're asking you to do in 20 seconds could never be done in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And as long as you know that, and it's just part of like stress management, then you're fine. You'll be okay. But some people don't get it. Some people don't understand that. So that's how I survived. I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to put this gun back together in 30 seconds? That shit ain't going to happen. I'm just going to go and push up position because that's what you're going to do.
You want me to clean this every nick and cranny and then throw it in mud to do it again? Okay.
Right, okay.
Okay. Roger that, drill sergeant.
Exactly. We do what we do. That's it. But some of these movies on here, so you got The Deer Hunter, you've got Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket, I consider almost 2 different movies. Like, there's the first
Yeah. There's the
hour,
first half,
yeah,
and then there's the second half.
yeah, and they're way different movies.
They really are. Yeah. They could be separated into 2 different ones. You could talk about the psychological aspect of it, and then you got to talk about the actual badass of war, like the actual like image of war in their eyes. It's pretty insane how they separated that movie. It was filmed so well too for its time.
Yeah, it was. And then you have Apocalypse Now, who I would consider the same thing. It's 2 separate movies, like way different movies. And the funny thing is, obviously in the 70s, you've got these 3 movies, the first 3, they're all anti-Vietnam movies. They're all, about how, and with good reason, like people were treated pretty shitty after they got back from Vietnam, and
Yeah, I mean that was
not very popular.
That was a very big eye opener to the public about what mental and physical health it was to veterans and currently serving at the time. And then of course Vietnam being the biggest war of that time, since the world wars and stuff, and Cold War being such a very what's the word I'm looking for? a very stressful time, really. Like it
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
so much anticipation during the Cold War that Vietnam happened, and it was just like, all right, shit's hitting the fan, let's go. Like,
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Jimmy on here says Deer Hunter, best movie on this list. Yeah, I mean, again, Deer Hunter is great. Again, I'm not that it's a certified classic. People love that movie. I was just commenting on just the pace of it. If you're not used to that pace, you will not necessarily enjoy that movie very much.
you're not gonna have a good time. I got to go back and watch that movie because I haven't. First time I watched it, I was like in high school. I barely paid attention, but I need to go back and watch it because I take Jimmy's word over anything. Really?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
over
Jimmy's right on
some
the
things,
money.
that like Jimmy's right on the money on something. So if he's saying that's the best movie on this list, I got to take a look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in Saving Private Ryan, I don't know the Steve McQueen movie. I'm sure somebody out there knows, but I don't know from this particular list. But you got Saving Private Ryan on the end there, which to me is, required viewing for anybody studying war. Yeah, I mean, listen. I tear up thinking about the stupid movie because it's that impactful. Like it's It's not just me being sensitive. It's like the opening sequence, the flag and the guy walking in the cemetery. I'm like, wow, that's it. I'm done.
That's it. Game over. Shut it off. I can't watch this.
Shut it off. And then I think the most haunting images in that movie were those guys crying out for their moms. Like that to me,
yeah.
it never hits any different. It's like it's a gut wrench at that point. So it's crazy.
Something. And I like how they I mean, it really shows great writing when you see things like that because it's something that you don't even think about happening. Like when you watch something like that and it happens, and like you're watching somebody literally cry out for their mom or their father, things like that, and that's an aspect of like a stressful situation like that you would never have guessed. Like of all the people to call out to, you're a grown man in the middle of a battlefield and you're calling for your mom.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the closest thing to comfort. Like it's like being a child when you scrape your knee. It's the closest thing in that stressful situation that you're going to, and it's such a way. Like it's such a powerful way to show how impactful war can be in that situation.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, and it's primal. It's like a primal urge that you just that's there, and like they captured it, and it's like it's insane that it makes you feel the same. Not feel the same. Obviously, you're not going through the death, but you feel that emotion, and you're just like, I can't, But yeah, no, that's a real one right there. But I do want to say, like this, Vin Diesel's in this. Mr. Family. Is
he really? I didn't even catch that before.
Yes. So you got to go back and watch.
I got to go back. We're gonna watch that tonight.
Carpazio is his name. That's his name, Carpazio. He's
Does
in
he still
it.
have the tank top, or is there
No, it would have been funny if he was in the tank top. But like he's like randomly shows up in the movie, and you're like, and he's part of the squad, and I'm like, wait, that's Vin Diesel before Vin Diesel, like before he did Vin Diesel movies.
Yeah.
I mean, insane. I mean, the number of stars in that movie. I mean, Steven Spielberg had his pick, man, and he put everyone in there.
Oh yeah.
You think of an actor like that's successful today. If you watch this movie, you can point every single one of them out.
Every single one of them out. Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, I do want to acknowledge the greatest sniper that's ever been portrayed on film.
What a great scene too. Like just
oh my god,
all around. Just you can't even explain it. It's like how can you explain such a tremendous effort?
No, I mean, sniping through the scope, like that's insane. That's insane. But I thought, yeah.
Shoot at that, see what happens.
But you know what? The one scene that, and we'll talk about other movies, but the one scene that really sort of hits that this guy knew his stuff, like, or at least the writing was good, was when, well, I don't know if you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't say that person's name who gets killed because you don't even know that he's in the movie. But when someone gets shot, right? You hear a piano hit, and it's like all one sequence in motions, right? And the sniper goes, you heard the shot before his hand hit the piano. And so he knew how far away the guy was in terms of bullet trajectory. I was like, phenomenal. I was like, dude, this is like next level, thinking on the battlefield, like, which was insane.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got
Real
some
quick,
comments.
Jimmy said that he's got M1 Garand thumb. Great detail. And that is a good point.
Yeah.
Because that M1 Garand is literally a thumb stealer. That thing snaps. That bolt will drive that finger forward before it does the round. That is a scary weapon. Not even just because of the firepower.
Let's see. It says here, great detail there. It's the greatest of all times. Jane says, we already know I cry over everything, but I hear taps and I'm done. Yeah, no, it's...
Taps, man.
Taps and bagpipes, man. Oof.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Let's see. AD, wait, what? Herc, the greatest sniper, him and Jay Birdie? Let's see. Jimmy said,
M1 Garand thumb. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's, and
that is a good detail.
That's attention to detail right there.
Yeah.
Now
I talk about it a lot too, because like my job, I learned about videography and stuff, but like a big part of it, and you understand too, like with production is like you have to know how to manage these shots and piece them together and stuff. So like every time we watch a movie now, I'm like, ooh, look at that Dutch angle. Like I love Dutch angles. They're my favorite thing ever. And like I love when they use it. So I always point it out. And my wife is just like, every time he puts out the Dutch angle. Yeah.
Well, my sons call out the long takes. They love long takes in movies. Like, so that's been their thing. And so like whenever there's a long tape, you sit there, they're watching, they're like, long take, here it goes. And I'm like, damn, they're good. They're getting good. Yeah. You had some of the old movies, that were talking about Vietnam, World War II. And then these are some of the more newer movies that talk about the Desert Storm and Afghanistan and other types of wars. So I find it contrast because for me, it's like you're like romanticizing the old wars, but the new wars are so gritty and so real and like so people are just so kind of like sarcastic about it, and and it's not fair because people were living and dying and doing all this stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. Actually, me and my wife were just talking about that today, like watching American Sniper. Like not to give any spoilers or anything, but the movie does do a good job with portraying some of the darker moments of that war zone and that war in general. So in today's movies that you see, like military movies that talk about like the war in Iraq and the global war on terrorism and things like that, they show some of the aspects that we're kind of used to now because of all the movies that have been coming out over the years. But like any war before that wasn't looked at in that same light. And that's because during the Iraq or Afghan war, you had, soldiers having to find themselves in a tough situation where they had to possibly kill a child or shoot at a woman or a child who was wielding a weapon, and like that was some of the things that never really was brought into light during Vietnam or Desert Storm, and now it's become such a bigger issue that it needs to be talked about and it needs to be shown so that people actually understand what it is we're sending these guys out there to do,
Right. And the enemy hides in plain sight, and they use those like the modern warfare is that you would sort of and again, in the old days, the war was like very prescribed, right?
Yep.
The enemy has this color uniform. They will fight on these battlefields. Now you're in urban areas. You've got human targets, human shields. It's crazy, man. So these guys are. I mean, they've got all the technology, but still shooting at again, not that they're intending to, but shooting at what they perceive as the enemy, and then all of a sudden discovering you've got a school right there or some it's got to be insane. So. You got Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down is such a great movie.
Such a great movie.
Such a great movie.
And it's such a great intimate story of the squad, right? So it's like,
Yeah, you follow that Ranger regiment around, and like It was kind of actually one of the first movies I want to say, right? That started capturing like the war in Iraq and things like that. No.
Yeah, yeah. I think this was that
Yeah.
the Battle of Mogadishu or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That was what, back in 2003, I want to say.
I think so. It was late '90s, early 2000s for sure. But I
Yeah.
mean, I remember watching it and just being blown away, like because at the time I was in, and so I hadn't experienced it in any combat. But watching the movie, I was just like, holy shit! Like that's got to be terrifying. Like
Yeah.
it's terrifying enough to think about going to fight, but like seeing some of this portrayal, you're just like, oh man, that's insane. Let's see. Jane's commenting on you're obsessed with the Dutch angle.
I am. I
Says,
am.
I got color theory monologues. He's got Dutch angles.
Literally, it's funny too because she's so good at it too, man. Like she's got her master's in like art education and things. So like she can point out art in whatever you see. It's amazing. I truly admire it because I'm like I do not have an eye for that like you do. So she like teaches me a lot throughout these things. So like we watch Joker for the first time, like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Oh yeah.
And she pointed out an aspect of that movie that I never would have thought about in a million years. And it was the color theory behind the entire movie and how the
Oh, yeah.
colors were used to portray the emotion happening in the scenes. And I rewatched the scenes after she said that, and I was like mind blown because I was like, how many other movies are doing this? Like, I need to go
Yeah.
back and watch all of them.
Well, I get into like if I really like a movie, I'll do the same thing. I'll research like people talking about the movie and what they learned from it and stuff. And yeah, some stuff like that comes up. But yeah, that's insane, man. Like I never thought of it. I just thought the Joker was a really powerful statement on mental health.
Yeah, no, and they
Forget
did a
that
great job with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, forget that it was just a comic book movie. I mean, my kids looked at it different because I exposed my kids to this kind of stuff, and I said, you gotta watch this. We watched it and we talked about it. Like they're like, well, this is him breaking down. I said, yeah. And then they asked the questions that normal people would ask was like, why they take away his meds? Why they take away his visits? Why they take?
Yeah.
I said, that's the world we live in today, man. If you don't have
Yeah, literally.
insurance or programs get cut, you got nothing, man. And this guy had nothing, and you saw what happened. So insane, man, insane. Let's see here. James, about that movie has heavy color theory, way more than some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love when there's smart filmmakers that would do things like that purposely.
Yeah.
To and again, the movie was good for a lot of people, but when you really sort of dive into it, it's amazing stuff.
It puts it in a different light because like you said, like a lot of people would look at it as just another comic book movie, but then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is so much deeper than that.
Yeah. And insane and violent and beautifully done. So I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. Then there's this one.
Ooh, yes. Oh man. The fact that he's not struggling to lift that thing up is a problem. Look at that. That sling is at least 30% of a VA disability alone. Just having that sling around his neck for at least 5 minutes. That's 30% on a VA disability.
Oh my god. I mean, jeez. Jane is let me like that mirror shit in Glass.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen Mr. Glass?
No.
Or the movie Glass. It was with Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis, and James McAvoy.
Oh yeah.
That series.
I saw the one with James McAvoy, Split.
Yeah. So
I
you
saw
got
that.
you got Unbreakable, Split, and then Glass.
Never seen Unbreakable, never seen Glass.
That series, honestly, I think that's what you've seen Split, but
Yeah, I saw Split. Yeah.
if you go back and watch Unbreakable and then watch Split again, it all comes together. And then Glass kind of tells the story at the end. But it's such a beautiful series. We just finished watching it recently. It was just so well done. So well done.
Yeah, I got to check it out because Split was like, I was like, my mind is blown. I need to watch the other stuff, but I never got into it. Jane says it's so good.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, First Blood's on our list here for good reason. It's a good movie. Again, if you don't have preconceived notions going into it. No, I honestly, in so where it did get me because if again, for those of you who watched the reaction, and you focused on everything else, you would have seen me actually tearing up and crying a little bit at his monologue at the end, because I got it. I got what they were trying
monologue
to
was
say.
good.
The
Was
monologue
really
was
good.
great. Yeah, I mean, and it got me because I was like, okay, I understand where he's going and what's going on in his head. I couldn't understand why it was like that. Like, I did, again, my frame of mind was different, but I did tear up and cry a little bit at the end of the monologue. So please, people, stop the hate, stop the dislikes.
No more llama hate for Rambo.
No more llama hate. Let's see. Then you got spoof movies.
Oof, in the army now.
Oh my God. So there was a bunch of these that came out. You know, Sergeant Bilko was another one. Although Sergeant Bilko's truer to life than people think.
Yeah, no, that's like right on the money, honestly.
About like getting everything ready for like inspection and the show and everything else. I watched that one, and again, it hits different when you know it, and it's funny, but it's even funnier when you've been in, because
you get so many of the other like hidden gems that you see around there.
Sergeant Bilko. Oh my God. And then the best is, get up and attention. You know, people would like start running. I'm like, I've heard that before. A Few Good Men is a military type movie, but more a courtroom drama. But
well, yeah, it's revolved around the Navy, right? So
right. Still one of my favorites, and I watch this every time.
Yeah, I love Jack Nicholson in the movie, because this movie actually introduced me to Jack Nicholson as like an actor, and like just really made me appreciate his work, because he really is fantastic in this movie.
I mean, if again, it's one of those movies that if it's on TV, I stop.
Yeah,
I stop and I watch it, and I don't care which part it's on. I will sit there and I'll watch it, and when I get to that scene, I love it every time.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
doesn't get
that
better
monologue is one of the greats.
One of the best quotes in movie history is that scene. Right, you can't handle the truth.
You know, I like that he was making fun of the Navy officers, and you know, like it was like a back and forth. You know. And they were flexing rank too, you know. The
100%.
The courtroom, you know, judge, and you know the other guy. Oh my God, let's see. Can we please not leave out my all-time favorite movie? Okay, so what? I hope it's on my list here.
I hope so too. I'm trying to remember.
There's Stripes.
I've made a terrible mistake by forgetting.
Oh no! Oh, shit! Oh. We've fractured the Outlaw house. Oh no! I hope I have it on the list.
Oh no, I'm sure we'll come across it.
I hope so. Let's see. So again, Stripes is another comedy spoof, which again, it was just, I think at the time people were just doing something that was a little less serious about Vietnam and at those times. So it's just an entertaining movie. Jarhead.
Jarhead.
We talked about that. The little,
That's a good one.
was it Jake Gyllenhaal in The Buff?
Jake
That's
Gyllenhaal,
great.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is in there for, I think, isn't John Krasinski in there? I think he's in that movie.
Yeah, John. No, that's 13 Strong.
Okay, let's see.
I'm not sure if he was in Jarhead. I don't remember.
Look, she's
Boom
trying
Shaka.
to jog your memory. Boom Shaka. Is it? No?
I love Stripes, but that's not it, she says. Oh, man.
No.
Boom Shaka.
Where's Major Payne?
Major Payne. I was literally just thinking that when you said Stripes, it reminded me of Major Payne.
Oh God, yeah, Major Payne, man. That's every drill instructor I've ever had.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, they got it spot on. Some of the stuff that they say.
I say some of the things now.
Yeah, exactly. Jarhead, what a gem. Yeah, Jarhead
really
was good.
Was a gem, yeah.
It surprised me. It shocked me, but I'll never see the Deer Hunter the same way again. It's a Jarhead. Oh man, that shocked me to my core. Apocalypse Now. That's a tale of two movies right there. This one had young Lawrence Fishburne. I think he was like 17.
Yeah.
He was 17 at the time he was in this movie. Harrison Ford was in it. He was like an officer or something like that. But it's one of those
Martin Sheen too. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean it's
way
crazy.
back. Dennis Hopper, Robert Duvall.
The only thing I don't like, and this is about Francis Ford Coppola movies, is that he just doesn't let his movies alone. Like, he will remaster and re-edit and have like 6 director's cuts.
Yeah. Look at this stunning new restoration, supervised
Supervised
by Francis Ford Coppola.
like he's made the Apocalypse Now has three or four versions. I know it. There's the Redux version. There's the theatrical. There's like the new extended cut, which is like 4 hours long.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, it's
the
like, come on,
director's
man.
cut.
The only one I've watched of Francis Ford Coppola, and that I will tell anybody who has a chance to watch it to do it, was the Godfather Saga, which was 6.5 hours.
Oof.
Holy shit, though! Like, if you're a fan of that movie, that to me was like amazing. That, just
I used to have all of them on VHS, and as a kid, I was just too young to understand.
oh yeah,
So like, just having it was like made me feel good. Like, yeah, I got The Godfather on VHS.
yeah. I've
So
seen
like,
it.
I need to go back and actually enjoy The Godfather now because they're just classic movies.
Let's see, Jay Birdie talking about Marlon Brando, the GOAT. Yeah, Marlon Brando was in some of the biggest movies back then.
He was the man back then.
You
Oof.
got. I
Look
love
at that
the smell of
cavalry
napalm
scalp.
in the morning. Yeah, no, look at that, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy. He was in The Godfather also, so he was in a couple of Francis Ford Coppola movies. This one has a lot of people in it too. So, but yeah, he's got that famous quote. I think he was skiing or water skiing in the middle of this battle.
I don't remember what he was doing. He's out here with a shirt off and the Cav headdress on. Like,
There's no shrapnel hitting him. Nothing.
no, nothing hitting him. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Where's your shirt, bro? How are you out of uniform right now?
Exactly, man. Where's your helmet? You're not afraid to
Where's
get
your
shot?
weapon?
Right, exactly. You don't even have a
Where's time
gun.
for that weapon? What's your serial number? I don't have it.
Again, how it hits different for military guys.
Yeah, right? Like-
You watch this, you're going, this guy, there's no way this is happening.
The only thing he's doing right is that he's got his dog tags on.
That's it.
That is it. He's
And
got
he's
a
got-
ceremonial headdress on.
Exactly. He's over there just having a great time. We talked about Saving
Yeah,
Private
it is.
Ryan. Let's see, Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, man.
That is the GOAT.
all of the one-liners in that movie are just fantastic. Of course, the iconic scene, right? Like, bullshit. I
Yep.
bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
And from what I saw, and there was a bunch of like documentaries on it. That's mostly ad lib, and it was him.
It was 100% ad lib.
Right.
He used to be a drill instructor,
Right.
so it was literally second nature for him. They was just like, "Yo, go out there and talk shit." Like, all right, cool. Are you steer? Or are you clear?
I mean, those are iconic, man. Like you, and he's milked this character now until his death. I think
Yeah.
he's
No, yeah, he was. What was he doing? He was doing like a weapon show or something like that, right? Where he travel around and like hit ranges and stuff like that across the states.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the Call of Duty game. He was like
He
voice
was
in your ear.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So I mean, this guy Lee Ermey, I think, Lee Ermey.
Was it Lee Ermey?
Yeah, I think that's what his name was. I forgot. It's blank, but yeah. But his scenes were so authentic, and I loved how he treated these guys. And yes, he said some pretty outlandish things.
Oh yeah. I mean, back then you can get away with saying anything.
I know. He was
It's
racist.
like you said before too. You know, like being able to put your hands on soldiers and stuff like that during basic training and stuff like that. Like back to then, they called it wall-to-wall counseling.
Right. But it's frowned upon now. But again, that's what I thought was going to happen to me. So I was fully prepared to get my ass whooped. To get punched a couple times. I was prepared for the soap bath, the soap. Beating them in the
soap
stomach.
and socks. Yeah.
Oh my God! Actually, my kids watched that and they were like, "Is that real?" I said, "Well, we never did the soap. But we had a couple guys who got straightened out at night,
yeah.
But thank God it wasn't me."
Yeah.
I actually used to joke and tell my kids these stories. Like, in basic training, I made tons of money, man, because I would take your KP duty. If you didn't want
Oh
it.
yeah.
If you didn't want it, pay me $20, man. I'll go do your KP,
Yeah.
and then
Like,
I
hey,
would shine.
I can't sleep at night anyways. Let me get your fire guard shift.
Oh,
I'll
for
take it.
sure, for sure. And then I would shine shoes. I would shine your shoes, make them look like glass.
That was a big one for you, because for
Yeah.
us we had the brown boots and stuff like that. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
but in airborne school, when you graduate airborne school, the dress uniform, when you get your dress blues, you have to switch out your core frames or your dress shoes for airborne boots, jump boots, and those you have to spit shine. You gotta actually buff them and clean them, you know. So I still got a taste of the old days just by being airborne. So I was just like hovering over boots and shining them, and then having to get the hot gun and just blow dry these shoes spotless.
No, for sure. Let's see. AD's hit us with the major pain. Everyone
Major
wants like that
pain.
major pain. There you go. And you got a message, my
Oh
friend.
man, hold up, hold up. I might get stabbed tonight, guys. Hold on.
I don't want to be a Blue Falcon, my friend. But, I'm not being a good battle buddy right now. Reading these tweets on there. Let's see. Did you get it? Did you get the response?
I did. I got it. I remember now. Wow, I needed that jog of memory. It G.I. Jane.
Oh my God!
It's in her name. How did I forget? I'm such an asshole.
Hoorah! G.I. Jane. Oh my God. That is a blast from the past for sure.
That is a classic.
Hoorah! I had the next one. Actually, the last one on my list was Platoon. That was actually one of my favorites.
I've never watched Platoon actually.
It is overly dramatic and fun, like amazing all at the same time. Like it's, Oliver Stone, so it's way over people's heads about war, but it's great. It's a great movie, and then you got Willem Dafoe in it. So,
Oh, then that's got to be a great movie then. Willem Dafoe's.
Willem Dafoe is amazing in the movie, and then you've got Tom Berenger, who's a freaking badass with the scars all over his face. And then Charlie Sheen being the snot-nosed new guy out in the
Of course, yeah.
out in the bush.
Maybe I actually did see that. I don't know. It's one of those TVs that pops up on movie, and you're just like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, you might. I mean, again, I watched it way young and didn't understand it, but I loved it. And then I watched it a little older, and it really hit different. And then I'll still watch it to this day. I think I do have the Blu-ray, along with my
Nice.
Superstar Blu-ray.
Superstar.
Okay, so let's see. Will there be a post-Llama streaming show?
Unfortunately, there will not be a post-Llama show today.
Let's see. AD's post-Llama stream. That's what the co-host does. Stirring the pot.
Gotta stir the pot.
Jimmy hitting us with his traditional Gabe. Gabe's head is so big that he stepped into his shirt when he puts them on. Okay.
Oh my God. That's my one.
That's his one. That's it. You gotta have one. You gotta have one from Jay Birdie and Gabe.
One per show.
One per show. The message I sent him is the after show. Okay.
I'm gonna play it on a loop for the stream. I'll let it run throughout the night.
Gotcha. All right, so we've gone through quite an extensive list. We had a great time just talking about war movies and military movies, and again, it's from the perspective of veterans and military guys that are in there today. It's a lot of fun, and again, I appreciate all that stuff that comes out. I don't like stuff that sort of, I don't know. There's good and bad in the military. They're not obviously not saints, but you have to just appreciate the people that are serving and that kind of thing. And that's sometimes movies don't do that. Sometimes they sort of pick at them, and and it's tough. So let's see. Jimmy says, sorry to get off topic, but me and Gabe just had a classic Madden duel. Okay.
I tuned into the stream for a little bit just before we started this, and I saw him cross somebody up. I don't know. It was the nastiest juke I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
And I've watched football as a kid, and I've never seen a juke that hard. And that was in a video game. So I would hate to be Gabe's ankles
oh my
right
God.
about now.
Gabe's ankles are
Probably
broken.
swollen. Yeah, swollen, broken. Somebody get this man some Tylenol.
All right, I'm gonna run through a couple of names here. Let's see. I'm going through a list, and then we'll get to our pop culture, which we'll keep kind of short because we're running out of time. There's Patent. There's The Five Bloods, which is a recent movie. Let's see. Letters to Iwo Jima. The Bridge over River Kwai. These are old. Oh, and Glorious Bastards. I don't have them on the list. That was a great
Glorious
one.
Bastards is a great movie. I've been
Yeah.
chewed out before.
Oh my God, you're the one with the best Italian.
Oh, I gotta watch that movie again. That's such a good movie.
That joke pays off so well, and
well.
it's just like, oh, there's Dunkirk. There's The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Apocalypse
Fury was
Now.
a good one too. Nah, just
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
that one, yeah.
What
Brad
was
Pitt.
that one? That one with Andrew Garfield. It was Hacksaw Ridge. I
oh,
heard was
Hacksaw
good.
Ridge. Yes. Oh, that's
I've-
such a good movie.
I've never seen
That
that. So.
that movie actually made me appreciate Andrew Garfield too, because like he did well in Spider-Man and everything, and that was like kind of his big break. But then he did that right after, or like in between the two movies, and it was phenomenal. He did such a good job with that.
Yeah, yeah. So he makes me feel emotions. That guy, not in
Yeah.
no, not that there's anything wrong with that, but no, just the way in his acting for sure. Avengers was the greatest of all time.
That's the greatest military movie of all time, hands down. Yeah, you had the original World War II soldier in there. You know.
That's right, Captain America. It's the best military movie. AD. That's right, because they assemble. Let's see. There's a Thin Red Line. Let's see. That's a not bad one. I think that's about it. Okay. So we're done with our movie segment. We'll go into a short segment about pop culture. Because AD's not here, we're still going to play it for AD. Let's get into our pop culture segment. Here we go.
I do it for the culture.
AD's got to be loving that right there.
Big shout outs to AD.
Let's see. We got people just lighting up the chat. Nothing wrong
Ooh,
with
yeah.
that. What's the movie that was made
about your team? Oh yeah. What was it? 12 Strong. 12
okay.
Strong was a good one. That's with Chris Hemsworth actually.
Oh God, that guy's amazing.
Yeah, he did the movie. It was like way in between him doing like the Thor movies and like Avengers and stuff like that. He came out of nowhere with 12 Strong, and it was actually based off of one of the teams in my unit at third group. And literally what it was is they were out, they met with a team, and they pretty much got stuck out there because their QRF didn't come or something like that, or their exfil couldn't come, so they had to pretty much huff it. And they came across a village that helped them out, gave them horses to ride into battle with in a modern war. And it was pretty intense. It was crazy. And I remember when the movie was coming out, it was such a big thing because obviously it was in my unit. The guys that were portrayed in that movie were either still serving or had retired and in higher roles and stuff like that. So it was crazy to just be like, they made a movie about these guys that I work like the office next door. Like that guy got a movie. What am I doing wrong? Right. Like, no, but they were all great people. But like, hey, it was crazy to think about. And before the movie was put out to the public, about a week early before release of the movie, they let the actual team that the movie was portrayed about and the unit that they served in watch the movie first. And so like I had the opportunity to watch the movie before everybody else, live in theaters and stuff like that. It was a good time. It was a good time.
That's awesome. See, and then you're famous, man. You serve with famous guys.
Yeah, I know those guys.
I know those guys. Here's what happened when we played the pop culture segment. AD pop culture intro. Jane says Fury, which
Fury's great.
We just mentioned. Yeah, Fury for sure. AD says, I don't think you would do it since you replaced me. And then Jay Birdie hit him with the should have put an X over AD's face on the intro. Listen, would have been bad if I made the intro with your avatar. That
Like
would have
crossed out blackout AD, just put Herc Outlaw at the bottom.
Yeah, that would have been really bad. Oh, let's see. Real quick, because I know we want to talk Super Bowl real quick, but there's also the new Tom Holland movie, Uncharted, came out. And
Yes, yeah.
it made somewhere around 45 to 50 million bucks in the box office this weekend.
Wow.
So that's not a bad deal for him.
Yeah.
I went to see it, and
Yeah, no, it's to be expected about a movie about a video game. You know, I mean, it's to be expected. Of course, it's going to be cheesy. There's going to be those moments that are just like over the top.
yeah,
But,
it was just very predictable. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about the movie is like there's not like a aha moment where you go, oh shit, they got me. It was more like kind of saw that
I
coming.
saw that coming. Yeah.
It was good though. It was good. I think Tom Holland. I think he's riding the wave of success from Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because that's why I went to see it. I was like, you know what, Tom Holland does a pretty good job. Let me go see this movie. I really didn't care to go see it. I was like,
Yeah.
let's go see the movie. And it was okay. It was fun,
Yeah.
but nothing that would drag home.
The game itself, it's a fun game, and it's been around since like PlayStation 3 days. That's when they first like kind of released the games and stuff. And the story within itself in the video games is like it progresses, obviously. Like, of course, like the first game is always that cheesy one, but then the sequels get a little bit more darker, they get a little bit more interesting, and then of course things hit the fan and you're stuck on a cliffhanger. And like the games do such a good job with portraying that I feel like a movie is either just going to repeat it or they're not going to live up to that expectation.
Yeah.
So it's a hit or miss sometimes with these games. Like a lot of movies like that based off video games don't end up doing as well as they should.
I think they were trying to hit a wider audience, like cast the net and say, okay, let's just make this fun, Indiana Jones / National Treasure type movie. But they didn't focus a lot on the aspect of the clues. Like there were some things about the clues, but like it was like, you've seen it before, that type of thing. So there wasn't anything spectacular that I was like, oh man, this is going to be amazing. But it was fun. I mean, it was visually very good. Tom Holland is really good in the movie. He's got great chemistry with Mark Wahlberg. But and they're going to make sequels. So if anyone, they set it up for a sequel. And
I saw recently that there was a petition to have the supporting role not be Mark Wahlberg but be Brendan Fraser. And I was like, why?
Brendan Fraser is out of shape and looks terrible and would be horrific in this movie.
He just made a comeback into Hollywood, and you want to put him in Uncharted? That's a lot of work for him, man. That's good. Let him ease into it again.
He's not the guy from The Mummy anymore. Like he doesn't look like that anymore.
He needs a dad role somewhere down the line. Like
exactly. He could be
make him that uncle that comes over every now and then.
Right, the uncle who gives him like a part of the map. How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Jay Birdie wants to chime in. AD's favorite movie, The Replacements. No, notice I did it in Jay Birdie's cadence too.
Yeah. AD's favorite movie, The Replacements.
Oh man, oh god. So just poking the bear, the bear.
Gotta poke AD.
So yeah, I mean the box office is going to be a little quiet until I think Morbius comes out soon, and then you've got Doctor Strange, which is the big movie event.
That's the big one right now for the year, I think.
Yeah, I think we'll do a whole show just on Doctor Strange as more and more of these trailers come out. But that's insane. Some of the supposed cameos that are going to be coming out. So, man,
it's an exciting time, especially because, I mean, some would argue that Doctor Strange was responsible for everything that happened. So, I mean,
right. He's at fault.
It's interesting to see what happens next. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. That's going to be the big to do.
How does he come back from this?
Right. How does this movie even end? Like that's what it's in my brain, and I think because right. Since I don't know how it's going to end, or I don't have any idea, I think is what's intriguing to me. Is like I can't wait to see it. Like, can't wait to get my mind blown and see what happens. All right, and then we'll wrap things up with our last segment here. We'll run a few minutes on this. We talked about the Super Bowl halftime show. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of discussion about who's kneeling, who's not kneeling.
Yeah, there's so much talk about like what was expected of the performers and then what they actually did, and obviously a lot of it is going to be hearsay, forever probably. There's only so many things that we can see on this end,
Yeah. I mean, they were clowning on 50 Cent's weight, and
oh man, I mean the memes that came out of this halftime show were phenomenal.
Yeah, the internet always wins. They always win. But listen, I it's weird, right? Because for some to say this is the greatest halftime show that's ever happened, I would say no.
Yeah, definitely arguable.
Yeah. I mean,
is
it
a
great.
big is it a big stepping stone for hip hop as an industry? Absolutely, because we only ever see top 40 at the halftime show. So for us to get a platform for hip hop, and then for exactly, like Jimmy in the chat says Prince. Like when Prince passed away, and Justin Timberlake performed at the halftime show, he did. What was it? Purple Rain, I think. He played on the piano. They had the big banner with his face on. It was a very extravagant performance, and it was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
And, like that was a big show, so for the show this past Sunday, that wasn't on that same level. And that's what people don't understand is like, it's a different feel. It's a different environment, and it's a different genre. It's entirely different. So at least in pop culture and in pop music, really, I mean, like just in general, like anything that isn't hip hop, you have that room to sing, dance, have a good time, showcase, and do a whole performance, But like, have you ever been to a rap concert?
Yeah, many.
And like, how many people are dancing at those things? Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, my first concert ever was Snoop Dogg. And like seeing him on the stage last week, I was like, yeah, that's to be expected. He's crip walking on stage. I've seen this before.
Right, like, exactly. And there's nothing new.
It's nothing new. You got somebody who's literally speaking poetry into a mic to an audience of 1,000 millions of people. So it's only gonna go so far. So you can't expect the world out of it.
Yeah, exactly. See, James says that was the most conservative halftime show ever, and anyone who says otherwise is just racist.
100%. It was. And it was so funny too, because everyone was talking about like, oh, like, they told Snoop Dogg not to wear a bandana in his back pocket, and then he came out with a whole blue suit, and like they told him not to crip walk on camera, and he was crip walking the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to censor those guys.
You can't. Look at the music. You gave them a platform to sing exactly those words. Let them have it.
Right,
you're
exactly.
televising it. You're expecting the words to come over. Just censor it.
Yeah, and listen, I'll say this, man. Like, okay, their stances, their individual stances on social issues are well known. It's not it's not unknown that Dr. Dre does not have an affinity for police officers based on his music, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Snoop.
Yeah.
Mary J. She's the one that talks about love, relationships. 50 Cent, notorious party guy, and Eminem, drug guy. Like these guys, they're not hiding anything. They're not all of a sudden born again Christians and they're up there praising Jesus or anything. They are who they are. But again, people are just looking for a reason to hate something, and that's what I see it.
Yeah, they have to.
Like, you may not know the music, and that's fine. You may not understand what you're seeing. That's okay. But it was a decent halftime show. It was fun. It was energetic for the majority of us who were watching, within that age range. We had a great time.
Yeah.
But back when the Rolling Stones were doing a halftime show, I was bored out of my mind.
Oh my God! But there was an audience for that.
Right,
there 100%. There was an audience for that.
That's like, I'll say this. This is what I'll say. It's like everyone has their own sort of thing that they like. It's like people who go to Dave Matthews Band concerts. Like people go.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand Dave Matthews Band. I don't know anything about him. I just know he has 3 songs.
Up top, Big Llama. That's what I'm talking about.
He has two or three songs, 2 or 3 songs that I know. But people go to his concerts like over and over and over. Like he'll be playing 3 shows in West Palm, and I know people who go to all 3 shows. And I'm
That's
like,
insane. He's playing the same songs.
he's playing the same set list.
Playing the same set list.
But it's like that. Like it's like, you know, the Rolling Stones were big for people back then. Prince was big for a lot of people back in the 80s. And so, and he was still making hits and universally loved when he did the halftime show. But it's the same thing. These guys, like Mary J, Snoop, Dre, all of them still relevant today and making music today. But if you're not in it, you know, if you're not, you know, from that era, or if you're not, you know, familiar with it, you know, and unfortunately everyone has a social comment on everything. Everything has to be a political thing or this. And listen, I could give a shit. Like, kneel, don't kneel. I don't care. I don't care. I loved your music, and I'll still like your music. You know, it's, you know, and I won't get into this one, but it's like the R. Kelly discussion, right? Like, do you stop listening to R. Kelly now knowing what he's done or whatever? I don't know. I don't care. I like his music.
I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, hey, I know he did this thing, but I am going to buy his music because he does make good music. Like, if you're not going to support him, don't support him.
Right,
But
exactly.
I'm not going to just be like, if R. Kelly's on, I'm not listening.
Exactly.
Everybody at the barbecue is stepping to the name of love. You know?
Exactly. You're
let's
all
be
doing
honest.
the same dance.
Let's be honest.
That's like if the cha-cha slide guy all of a sudden became like Bill Cosby. You would do the cha-cha slide every time that freaking song came
Oh,
on. I don't give a
100%.
shit who you are.
100%. Everybody sliding to the left.
Exactly. Let's see here. We got Jane was just saying it was amazing because it was our youth. Absolutely. I'm gonna say it like Jay Birdie. Jay Birdie says top 38 Llama shows ever. Because we're on episode 38. Thank you, Jay Birdie. Let's see. Jane says Snoop beat a murder rap. Yes.
Yes.
She used her one.
She used her one. Yes.
Who cares what he does with his feet? Of course. I was hoping they'd get the crip walking horse. That you remember that
my
clip?
God, yeah.
If that horse would have come out on the thing,
if he came out in a crip walking horse, I'd have turned everything off. I'd have been like, "Yep, mission accomplished. That's it. I'm done."
Greatest show ever. Let's see. Shut the fuck up about the Rolling Stones. One was awesome. Again,
awesome.
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't, you know. Oops, I hit it. I struck a nerve.
Struck a nerve.
Let's see. Me and R. Kelly not messing with the same girl. Hey, didn't we sing that on the Discord?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, me and Jimmy just kept going back and forth.
Oh God, that was a whole lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Man. Top 38 show. Okay. All right. Well, listen. I would say this, man, is like this would be my parting shot on all this controversy stuff. And again, this is my opinion only. Is there's so many other things to worry about nowadays. Like there's so many things that people should be worried about that they're not. That, you know, taking a stance, and I tell people all the time, whether you swing one way or the other, I don't really care because it doesn't impact me. I'm selfish like that. Like I'm all about me and my family and the things that we do. And yes, I will be active and share my opinion when somebody wants to hear it. But like I don't need to hear your opinions all the time. And nowadays people just want to fight, man. And it's stupid. Like there are points
the world
to be
has
made.
a platform to voice their opinions, and they feel like it's factual. Like because they know this, and because this is what they believe in, everyone needs to know that this is how they feel. And if you don't agree, then you are wrong.
Exactly. It's like, come on, man. It's like I may not be right all the time, and I may think that I'm right. It's not that I think that I'm right. Is I believe what I believe, right? And I think what I think. And in my brain, I'm not going to ever force you to think that way. I'm going to, and I'm not, and I hate people who try to like convince you. Like, don't. I don't think that way. That's fine. Leave me alone. Move on. Next topic, right? That's all. That's how I look at things. Anyway, so that's our pop culture segment. Thank you so much for everybody for chiming in. All right, Hercules, what are you doing this week, man? We're going to give you the platform. We'll give you the big screen, as we say, right? And what's going on this week with you?
This week for me, I go back to work. So
no.
My paternity leave is over. I go back to work, so I got some things to catch up on. However, I will say that I am in the works of trying to figure out how I can get Metal Gear Solid on stream and back on the YouTube channels because I absolutely love that game. And I saw that I put a poll on Twitter, right? If I what single player game I should play next, should it be Metal Gear Solid or I think it was God of War I put up as a poll on Twitter or something. And Big Llama voted Metal Gear Solid. So I'm going Metal Gear Solid. All right. And then we're probably gonna do a tag team reaction to Escape from New York. Because that's Snake in general. So yeah. But no, yeah, Metal Gear Solid in the works soon. And hopefully I can get it to work and we can enjoy some Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5.
All right. So you got a plan, man. You got a whole plan going.
Whole plan.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for being the co-host tonight. Hopefully,
thank you for having me.
Hopefully AD will return next week if he's not following through with his plan to leave Blackout. But no, again, I thank you so much. I think this was a fun night. You know, you're always welcome back on the show as a guest.
As
a guest. AD will be back next week as in our co-host position. And I'm interested to see what his view of the show was tonight. We're gonna ask him and grill him about that next week for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait to harass him.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna text him every morning on my time, 7 p.m. no, 7 p.m. in the morning. Yeah, I don't even know my times anymore. Look at me. I'm so flustered as the co-host.
Look at that. Oh, AD better than me being on? No, AD. Jimmy's
the
just
co-hostess with the most.
Oh my God, these guys are going crazy. We have to get our truck fixed.
Yeah, that's happening this week too. Fixing my truck.
AD,
Civil
War. He's enacting the Blackout Civil War. Blackout Civil War episode. Okay, so next week, the teaser for next week, AD returns with a vengeance, with a State of the Union for Blackout. He's going to let us know what the state of Blackout is next week. Be tuned in for that. Make sure, guys. For me, what I have going on, I told you guys we have the. Let me just get to that picture so I can properly rerun this back.
Yeah.
The Speed reaction came out tonight. Go watch it. Go share it with friends. Enjoy it. It's a good time. It's fun. I actually love this movie. I enjoyed it very much. Wondering why I didn't watch more Keanu Reeves movies in the 90s. But yes, please make sure you check that out. And depending on when I get done tonight, Stranger Things will likely drop tomorrow. So Stranger Things episode 3 will likely be there tomorrow. So let's see here. AD says, much love, boys. That was an experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hercules, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Everyone from the Llama Nation, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. I want to thank everyone in the chat for tuning in and for giving us some content. Jay Birdie, as always. Gabe, we had Jane. AD was in the chat. John Gillen, Chris Gillen, all the Gillens were in the house. Thank everyone. Please, thank you so much. If you like the show, please make sure you like and subscribe. And that's how you support the channel. Well, I'm the Big Llama. This is the Big Llama Show. Peace out, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Peace.